Life is a beautiful, unpredictable movie and you are the main character. But what happens when you start living as if someone else is directing your script? When every scene is edited to fit someone else's expectations and every dialogue you speak is rehearsed to win their approval? That, my friends, is what happens when you seek validation from a narcissist. A narcissist thrives on making you believe that their opinion defines your worth. They want you to chase their approval, to feel incomplete without their praise, and to constantly look up to them for reassurance. The more you seek it, the more they pull away, leaving you feeling inadequate, anxious, and desperate for their acknowledgement. But here's the truth. You don't need it. You never did. The only validation that truly matters is the one you give yourself. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself walking on eggshells, trying to impress someone who never seemed satisfied? Maybe it's a boss who overlooks your hard work, a friend who always belittles your achievements, or a partner who makes you feel like you're not enough. No matter how much you try to please them, they keep moving the goalpost. That's because for a narcissist, control is their game. They keep you hooked by making you believe that if you just try a little harder, if you just change a little more, they'll finally accept you, but they never do. And the more you try, the more you lose yourself. Seeking validation from a narcissist is like trying to fill a bottomless pit. No matter how much love, effort, or kindness you pour in, it's never enough. And here's the irony. Once you stop seeking their approval, once you reclaim your power, they start noticing you, not because they've suddenly changed, but because their control over you has slipped. Narcissists feed on insecurity. The moment you stop looking to them for validation, they start feeling threatened. So what do instead? You write your own script. You take back the pen and become the author of your own story. You stop waiting for applause and start clapping for yourself. The first step is to recognize that your worth is not dependent on external validation. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, if they praise me, I must be good enough. If they ignore me, I must be lacking. But that's an illusion. Your value does not decrease just because someone fails to see it. A diamond remains a diamond whether someone admires it or walks past it without noticing. Start by acknowledging your own strengths. Write them down if you must. What makes you unique? What are you proud of? Focus on those qualities, not on what someone else thinks of them. When you shift your attention inward instead of outward, you stop seeking approval and start embracing self-acceptance. Another powerful tool is self-acceptance. Instead of waiting for someone else to say, "You did a great job," say it to yourself. It might feel strange at first, but the more you practice, the stronger you become. Over time, you'll realize that you don't need external validation to feel good about yourself. You can create that feeling from within. Of course, this isn't always easy. Years of conditioning might make you feel uncomfortable standing up for yourself. You might hear that little voice in your head whispering, "What if they get upset? What if they leave?" But ask yourself, do you really want to keep people in your life who only value you when you're bending over backward for them? True relationships, whether personal or professional, should be built on mutual respect, not on one person constantly seeking the other's approval. When you stop seeking validation, you also stop fearing rejection. You begin to realize that it's okay if some people don't approve of you. It's okay if you don't fit into their version of who they think you should be. The moment you stop chasing their approval, you start attracting people who truly appreciate you for who you are. Think of it this way. Imagine you're an actor on stage, performing your heart out. But instead of playing your role with confidence, you keep looking at the audience for their reaction. Every time someone frowns, you change your performance. Every time someone looks away, you panic. But what if instead you focused on giving your best performance, regardless of who's watching? What if you stayed true to your character and trusted your craft? That's how life should be. Play your role with conviction. Don't let the audience dictate your performance. At the end of the day, life is too short to waste seeking validation from those who will never give it freely. You are the star of your own story. You are the director, the writer, and the producer. The only approval you need is your own. So step into your power, own your narrative, and most importantly, never let a narcissist hold the pen to your story. Life is a journey where we often seek validation from the world around us. We grow up being taught that approval from others determines our worth. A good grade gets praise, a job well done gets recognition, and a kind gesture earns appreciation. But what happens when the validation we seek is from someone who never gives it? Someone who thrives on making us feel like we are not enough. This is what happens when we try to gain approval from a narcissist. A narcissist operates differently from the rest of the world. They don't give validation easily, and when they do, it comes with conditions. They make you work for it, making you believe that if you just change a little, if you just try harder, if you just prove yourself more, they will finally see your worth. But the truth is, no matter how much you do, it is never enough. Seeking validation from a narcissist is like chasing a mirage in the desert. Just when you think you've reached it, it disappears, leaving you exhausted, thirsty, and more lost than before. This constant need for approval keeps you trapped. You start adjusting your behavior, second-guessing your choices, and suppressing your true self just to fit into their expectations. You become afraid of their disapproval, so you mold yourself into someone they will accept. But here's the harsh reality. No matter what you do, they will always find something to criticize. A narcissist doesn't want you to feel good about yourself. They want you to feel dependent on their approval. They want you to seek them out, to crave their validation, because that gives them power over you. The most dangerous part of this cycle is that you start believing their version of reality. If they dismiss your achievements, you begin to think they aren't significant. If they ignore your kindness, you start to feel like you're not good enough. If they don't appreciate your efforts, you start questioning your worth. Over time, their lack of validation becomes your self-doubt, and that is exactly where they want you. Questioning yourself, relying on them, and feeling small. But here's the truth, you do not need their validation. You never did. Your worth is not defined by their approval, their recognition, or their praise. You are valuable simply because you exist. The problem is not that you aren't good enough. The problem is that you are looking for validation in the wrong place. Imagine you are an artist painting a masterpiece. You work tirelessly on your creation, pouring your heart and soul into it. Seeing your own vision, you keep asking someone else, is this good? Do you like it? Should I change it? And imagine if that person, instead of appreciating your effort, keeps saying, maybe if you make it smaller, maybe if you use different colors, maybe if you start over. Soon, your masterpiece no longer reflects your vision, it reflects theirs. And worse, you start believing that you cannot create anything of value unless they approve of it. That is what happens when you seek validation from a narcissist. They make you doubt your abilities, your choices, and your identity. They take away your sense of self and replace it with a constant need for their approval. But what if you stopped asking? What if you stopped waiting for them to acknowledge your worth? What if you decided that your masterpiece, your life, your choices, your achievements is already beautiful, whether they see it or not? The key to breaking free is self-ascendation. Instead of looking outward for approval, start looking inward. Ask yourself, do I like what I'm doing? Am I proud of who I am? Am I happy with the choices I am making? If the answer is yes, then that is all the validation you need. The moment you start valuing your own opinion over theirs, you take away their power over you. This shift is not easy. Years of conditioning may make you feel uncomfortable at first. You may feel guilty for not seeking their approval. You may fear their reaction when they realize you no longer need them to feel good about yourself. But that discomfort is a sign of growth. It means you are reclaiming your power, rewriting your story and stepping into your true self. And here's the irony. The moment you stop seeking validation, the narcissist will start noticing you. Not because they suddenly respect you, but because they sense that their hold on you is slipping. They may try to pull you back in, offering small doses of approval just to keep you hooked. They may act differently, pretending to care, just to test if you still need their validation. But this time you will see through it. This time you will recognize their tactics for what they are: manipulation, not appreciation. The more you validate yourself, the stronger you become. You start setting boundaries. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop apologizing for who you are. You realize that your worth is not measured by how much someone else values you, but by how much you value yourself. At the end of the day, life is too short to waste waiting for approval from people who will never give it. Your dreams, your passions, your happiness, none of these should be dependent on someone else's validation. You are the author of your own story. You are the artist of your own masterpiece. Stop handing over the paintbrush to someone who doesn't appreciate your work. Stop letting a narcissist dictate your self-worth, because the truth is, the only validation you ever needed was your own.